Yeah, what up, YouTube? I am Davito, and I'm here with Twisted Demonic, and we're two gamers. We love to talk about games, and we're doing this weekly podcast, and this is our first go at this, and hopefully we can get some of you guys to either follow us or be angry at us. That way we have we have more people to talk to about games, good or bad.
We'll try to make this a weekly thing,
Mm-hmm. So it's first go. And of course, episode 1, we decided, we started the show off kind of, I think, at a good time in gaming because we have the future consoles coming out soon. So, I mean, there's rumors going on everywhere. There's, who's copying who and all that stuff.
Exactly. It's the perfect time to talk about next gen now.
Mm-hmm.
With it's in the news so much now. Recently. Now Microsoft's going to have their new console showing up sometime this May. I think May 21st is the press conference. Yeah. So, we're going to touch base on that. Also we're going to say, think about what's going to be our E3 predictions. Is Sony going to bring out the big guns? Is Xbox going to try counter Sony? Shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
What else do you think, Dave?
Well, if we can... that's about good. I mean, we'll touch on small things, what games we think are going to be coming out, and maybe touch a little bit on Call of Duty and where that franchise is going.
Call of Duty, that's another thing that's put a lot of sour taste in a lot of gamers' mouths, especially with Black Ops 2. It wasn't, I wouldn't say up to par with the past Call of Duties, and we'll try to squeeze that in this podcast too. But let's just kick it off with the next gen.
Stuff. I would like to start off with Microsoft a little bit. Just
oh yeah, sure. Go ahead.
For the conference, I mean, we kind of already know what Sony has and they brought to the table, and it's a great machine. But here's something that I thought was a little weird: was Microsoft. Everyone thought they're going to wait for E3, but they decided to make their own press conference like Sony did in February.
Right.
Do you think that's a little? Are they eager to get their machine pushed out at their own show? I mean,
well, I think that February thing pushed a lot of heads. Like when PS4 showed their stuff in February, that just pissed off Microsoft.
Mm-hmm.
Because
it was kind of out of left field. I mean, I don't think too many people saw it coming.
Not that early.
Yeah, it was
not that early. I knew as a PlayStation gamer, I knew that the PS4 had to bust out first because 360 did it with their 360, like Xbox with their 360, they bust out their shit first.
Mm-hmm.
That came first before the PS3 because the PS3 came out in 2006 and the 360 came out in 2005, and that put a big dent in PS3.
Yeah.
And so I think Sony learned a lot from 7th gen and from PS3.
Mm-hmm.
And they knew because PS3 we all knew it's a powerful machine. No question about it. It's a power machine, but it's just developers have a hard time to program for it.
Right.
It's a different CPU. It's a cell processor. It's a different design. It's not like an Xbox 360, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, developers were having a harder time to develop games for. A lot of third-party games didn't run as great. For example, Black Ops 1 on the PS3, the frame rate shit, absolutely garbage.
Yeah.
But on the 360, it runs 60 frames per second. That's a big chunk right there because most people are going to buy it for the Xbox.
I mean, one thing that drew me into Call of Duty Modern Warfare, the first one, was how smooth the game, ran. Like, for me, 60 frames. Every game, I'm pretty sure, did 30 around that time, which wasn't bad. But to see, I'm not positive if the first Modern Warfare was 60, but the game definitely played smooth, and that's something I really enjoyed about it versus it was like kind of a good modern shooter, but at the same time, it was just the game was so smooth. All these players, there wasn't too much lag because there was so much lag in Halo 3 most likely at the time that it's just kind of
but it just goes saying like I was saying, it's just the frame rates on most third-party games weren't running as smooth as it were on 360, but they were running crap on PS3. So that would kill Sony too. Third-party games didn't run as smooth as PS3.
Yeah,
it was more hard to develop for. It was more expensive, and Sony, spent a lot on marketing for PS3. Play Beyond ad marketing campaign, which was fucking huge.
Yeah.
And they had a lot of hype for it because they dominated the last two gens with PS2 and PS1.
Mm-hmm.
So I think PS3 did well, but it didn't do as well as Sony thought it was going to do.
Right.
So now with the PS4 coming out, they want to hit a home run. It's all about revenge for Sony.
Mm-hmm. And
they want to crush Xbox.
Yeah, and we saw that when, during the press conferences today, they went to studios. They asked the guys, what do you guys want in our machines that'll make it easier for you guys to program games? So they knew that, with the PS3, it was hard for them to use, the software to make games. So they went to them and said, okay, we're not going to tire guys like hands anymore. We want to know what will make it easier for you guys. So go straight to the guys that make the content and ask them what they want. And I mean,
and it hit a home run with Sony. Sony did it right with the PS4. Instead of doing it with themselves like they did with the PS3, they went to the developers. They said, hey, what do you guys want for the PS4? How do you guys want us to build it? And so on. So on, developers said this, and Sony listened. And that's why the PS4 is built differently than the PS3. Uses a different design than the PS3. And it's more similar to the way Xbox is. So now next gen is not going to be about hardware so much. It's going to be about games. Which platforms are going to bring the most games, and how good they look and how well they run. So
also another thing is they kept doing those surveys with the community. They kept asking them, what features do you want the PS3 to have? And those were also being used, I like to think, that on building the new PS4, because some of the features, obviously the number one just about every time they did this survey was a cross game chat, which they later admit that the PS3 can't do it.
That what killed the PS3 too, like the cross game chat.
So they kind of they asked the community, so they know the features that we want as gamers, and they're starting to hopefully put all these stuff together to make the PS4 more social gaming machine, and and of course with the developers you have the great game support that you need to sustain next PS4 console.
Oh yeah, they already have Killzone, and they already got them in their core. They already got Infamous. They're gonna have Naughty Dog. They got they have those exclusive developers. And when I say exclusive here, they got the exclusives. Well, what about Xbox? Well, that's another thing too. When we talk about next gen here, when Xbox is busting out their next gen console, what do they have from an exclusive point of view?
I got a feeling that on the 21st, if not E3, we will have light on the next Halo game, and Gears of War.
Halo 4 is not even that old yet. The new Gear, the last Gears is not even that old yet. If they're gonna bust out Gears 4 and Halo 5 so soon, people are not really gonna be too excited for those. But
I mean, you gotta. I think those are two games that you have to push on, a new console. So I don't think Halo 4 will be out, or Halo 5 it would be. I don't think it would be out maybe this year, but they'll hint at it. They'll have that trailer
eventually.
So I think they'll have a tease trailer, and then the game will be out maybe next year. And this, hopefully, I mean, man, I love Gears of War, but man, there's so many kind of games now. Hopefully do another... I just want to say one Gears of War game that kind of get that 720 in, but then kind of lay off Gears, because I love Gears, but it's just kind of, I feel like I need a break from how many Gears games, because they kind of come out within quick.
A year. Yeah, like the last Gears and then Gears 3, we're not that far apart. It's like, so it's kind of like killing it. So they need some more spice. They only got Halo and Gears. They need more exclusive. Xbox doesn't really have a true identity. Halo alone and Gears and Xbox Live is not gonna, what I mean? They need more. And now that we heard with the next Xbox that they're gonna copy what PS4's doing, video recording, sharing all that shit. We knew that was gonna happen. We knew that the Xbox was gonna watch the PS4 conference, go, hey, we're just gonna copy what they're doing.
Well, I think they cut a deal with was it Twitch and Justin TV? So they're going to be using that service, and Sony I think announced that they have a deal with UStream. So I mean,
Well, I think Sony should have went with Twitch over Ustream.
Yeah, they should have. I want to say I think Microsoft was quick to jump on partnering with them. But if I was Twitch, I'd be like, you know what? How about I just partner with both you guys, or like just kind of put them on the spot, saying, well, why can't I be friends with both you guys? But I'm pretty sure Microsoft paid them a good hefty amount of money, maybe some.
Yeah, some just like everything else Microsoft does, right?
Yeah, some sort of support.
But anyways,
I will say this though: I want to think if Twitch partnered here with Microsoft, I got a feeling over time Microsoft's going to end up buying over Twitch, and everyone's going to start complaining. Yeah, like they bought Skype, and everyone's going to start complaining about Twitch features and all this other stuff.
See, that's what happens with Microsoft. Everything they touch, they get greedy, and they turn that fucking great company to shit. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Yeah. It just becomes a cash cow thing for Microsoft.
Yeah, well, Microsoft is, with the next Xbox, obviously, the whole rumor of them, the whole rumor is that they're going to try and make basically the next Xbox be an entertainment box, which is already what this one is. But like they want to sign deals with like obviously already HBO and all this other stuff. And they want you to sit in front of your Xbox, turn that on, instead of going through your channels on your cable network. And
but
go ahead.
If they want to get into that kind of business, they should not do it with a video game console. Video game console, you play games. If they're going to make their system more focusing on entertainment and less on gaming, that's why I like about PlayStation. PlayStation is going to focus more on the hardcore gaming. I don't want to do all this entertainment crap.
I mean, Sony, they market their games and their marketplaces and all this stuff. They market all that well because if you go on the PS3 right now, you can download apps like Epix, Hulu Plus and all that stuff. But I don't think Sony is throwing that out there on their website all the damn time, like Microsoft does whenever they kind of add something.
You told me this before. Yeah, Microsoft does a better ad marketing.
Yeah, but I mean, what Sony does is they'll push games before they'll push, like some of their video services they have on their PS3s. So, I think the PS4 will be entertainment box as well, but I don't think Sony wants people to really that's not their target. Microsoft, I think, wants the Wii target. He wants your, kind of grandma to turn on her Xbox 720 and watch Netflix on there. And they're going to keep marketing those commercials with showing the families together and stuff. Or Sony will keep doing the the gaming commercial. Like the one I really liked was it Michael, the one with all the game characters together, like at that pub. Yeah. I love that ad so much, man.
Great. And all those characters are Sony characters.
Mm-hmm. And
you don't see an Xbox commercial like that. Can they bust out great characters like that? In their videos.
Master Chief and a few other indie games that only a handful of people have heard of.
See, the thing about what frustrates me with the gaming community is that they don't realize the history and where Sony has come from and where Sony has done for the gaming industry. Before Sony came around, it was Nintendo and Sega Genesis, and before that, Atari and so on, and Intellivision and all that crap. But then that the golden era that died in the 70s, and the console market kind of bombed there. And then Nintendo kind of brought their first console to the North American audience, and then they recharged the console business again. And then Sega came in and competed with Nintendo, but in that market, it was really aimed at for kids.
Mm-hmm.
It was 2D, pixelated, blah blah blah, playing in your fucking grandma's basement, play video games. But it wasn't until Sony came out and go, hey, even adults can play this shit.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what changed the game. Where Sony reached out for the adult gamers and brought a whole new audience. And they pushed that CD base on the first console and pushed great third-party support and all these exclusive titles and brands that no one else had. Like Resident Evil, Silent Hill,
Twisted Metal games,
Twisted Metal, Metal Gear Solid. These are franchises that defined that console and revolutionized gaming in that era. you know, when you look at Xbox today, 360, you know, yeah, they have Final Fantasy. Yeah, they have Resident Evil, but guess what? They were on PlayStation 20 fucking years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? You know, this is what bugs me about 360's success is they're ripping off what PlayStation did with their franchises. You know?
Well, I wouldn't blame that entirely on Microsoft. I mean, developers want money, and I mean,
that's what it is, right? That's what it comes down to.
There's no denying the sales of Xbox, and you've got to make sure your game's on both systems in order to make money, and that's taking away some exclusives. That kind of bugs me a little bit about Metal Gear. I think it'd be nice to have that be an exclusive to Sony, but I mean, you got to have the Kojima guys make money, so they can keep making this game. It's kind of hard. Sony, I think, takes hits making games like Heavy Rain and Beyond Two Souls. I forget the name of the studio, but
something Dream, something.
Yeah,
like that.
Sony actually went to these guys when they were after Heavy Rain and told them, okay, here, have this money and make a game. And they kind of, I guess, looked at each other and were like, okay, if we make this game, if we take this money, like, we want to make a game we want to make. Like, we don't want you guys coming in and, telling us how to do our job. Sony was like, hey, you guys have the money, do what you want to do, make whatever game you want. And that's how Beyond Two Souls was being made. So Sony handed this money over, and if they take this loss, hopefully they don't, because I think more games...
Beyond Two Souls?
Yeah, I think more games...
Oh, Beyond Two Souls is going to be great.
Yeah, so...
They're not going to lose at all.
I think that they put their faith in the studio that made a game like Heavy Rain that wasn't...
Dude, Heavy Rain is one of the best looking 7th-gen games I've ever played.
It's not a first-person shooter, it's not a third-person shooter. I mean, this is a slow down, relax, kind of like...
It has great story, great dialogue, great graphics,
and
it's just a great, beautiful, story-driven game. And it shows the real potential when a developer really knows how to program on a PS3 that the graphics they can bust out.
Yeah, and you don't have to make a shooter to make a good game, and I just hope that the future of the Xbox and the PS4 isn't all shooter games, because I'm at that point now where I'm a little sick of playing all these games. Like, I don't mind jumping on them every now and then, but
the reason why shooters are so big is because they're easy to get into, they're kind of casual, kind of hardcore, and they draw a big range of people.
Oh yeah.
They're easy to pick up and play.
Yep. If you're waiting for someone to come pick you up to go to the bar or something like that.
Somewhere, about to go to work,
slap on your Xbox,
Call of Duty.
Quick round.
There you go, right?
It's kind of hard.
There'll always be a market for shooters. I think what we need to say is we're kind of sick of the military shooters.
Yeah.
Maybe. Like, I know Battlefield does its own thing and but I think we need some freshening up in the shooter genre. Maybe Destiny will bring something.
Oh yeah.
I don't know.
I think Destiny's one of those games. Bungie knows what they're doing.
Well, Bungie's really respected in the game industry, right? Bungie.
Destiny. I mean, there's so many now. Shooters are trying to go a little bit more RPG,
the MMO kind of thing,
MMO. And I think Destiny and the guys at Bungie are doing this game at the right time, and I think people will fall in love with this game and the universe that they're building.
Plus, based on their reputation with Halo, this is Bungie talking about. Of course, anything they touch is gold. When this title that they do, it may not sell billions of millions like COD, but it will have a core group of people.
Oh yeah.
And those people that do play will love it. It will be successful, and it will take off.
Yep.
I'll be one of the people checking it out.
I'll be checking it out. I think this game is going to be one of those games that the core guys, are going to be immersed in the universe. They're going to love this, but at the same time, since it is a first-person shooter, I don't know if they're going to have kind of like round-based games or like matches like kill, like just regular team death matches or slayers. But if you have just kind of something like that for the casual guys and for the hardcore guys to jump in there, do that, but at the same time, a whole universe behind it, a whole interactive universe, not just like go on a website or open up like Halo Waypoint kind of stuff.
and stuff like that. I mean, like an actual physical universe to play in the game with expansions, like that's going to appeal to the hardcore guys. So you're going to have these guys that play Halo already, familiar maybe with Slayer and stuff. They're going to be jumping on every now and then, but you also have this bigger part of the universe with more stuff and that the hardcore guys are going to get into. And I think that's something that maybe games are trying to do, but I think Destiny will do.
Well, I have high hopes for Destiny. I know it's going to do well. It's another reason why Activision grabbed it. They grabbed it and knew it was going to fuck up their Call of Duty shit. So, and Activision's behind it. They know it's going to sell. So, Destiny's going to be great. Is it going to sell billions and millions and millions and millions like COD? No. Is it going to be great? Yes. And I'm looking forward to it. I hope it spices the FPS genre up. I really hope so.
Well, but I was going to say, Call of Duty doesn't have too much of a competition because just now I think people are trying to get into Battlefield, but at the same time, if you take a look at Battlefield side by side with Call of Duty, they're kind of different games for the fact that Battlefield with the vehicles and all that
Battlefield's Battlefield. Yeah. Batelfield's doing its own thing. Battlefield, there's nothing like that on the market like Battlefield. DICE has defined a genre.
Yeah.
It should just called the genre Battlefield. Because when you play a fucking Battlefield game, you're not just like, camping the corner, in Call of Duty, blah, 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 blah. You're actually working with other squad mates, moving around as a squad, taking cover, dropping ammo, dropping med pack, taking out armor, going for the objectives, working as a team, and being rewarded. That's what makes Battlefield so great. That's what makes DICE so great. That's why the Battlefield franchise is so great. Yeah. It's a unique style game. They're the first that did it. They are doing it, and that's why Battlefield is great. COD, it has kind of its own little genre. Some game types in that game have ripped off other games, like gun game, Counter-Strike, Team Deathmatch, Quake, and Doom. But it's just like people say in the community, it's a Twitch shooter. Boom, 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 boom. You can play the game solo. Battlefield is more of a team game. And that's what's separates.
Yeah, when I lose a game in Battlefield, I'm definitely probably a little bit more pissed off at my teammates than if I lose a game in Call of Duty.
Yeah, COD, you're like, whatever, fuck it.
Like, I got my kills, and you guys, KD sucks. But, like, on Battlefield...
COD's not that rewarding, though.
I think DICE knows what they're doing and how to push teamwork, the point system.
I have never played a bad DICE game. So I think
I think they know how to push teamwork, especially now with the whole squad.
They know how to make military shooters very well. Very well, and they give a shit about the community, unlike the Call of Duty developers. DICE gives a shit. How many patches they did with Battlefield 3, and how big were their patches? 1.5 gigs. That's a lot of hard work. That's work. They're fiction shit. A COD puts a patch at 100 megabytes. Get the fuck out of here, man. They ain't fixing shit. So DICE, they work hard at their game, and when it comes to balancing and patches, they put their hard work in. And the reason why a lot of gamers, or a lot of COD gamers can't get into Battlefield, because there's more to it.
Right.
There's more to it, and they're just so used to their sandbox casual Twitch shooter, man. What are you gonna do, right? Everybody likes their own shit, so,
Yeah. So,
let's just not make this a Battle versus COD video.
Yeah, I know.
We'll leave that for a different podcast, but.
I was looking at the thing in this future Call of Duty here. But yeah, the sales are going down for Call of Duty. The game is starting.
Black Ops 2 bomb.
So I think
I went to the midnight launch. I know people. Okay, I went to the midnight launch. I'll tell you right now, David. I was really looking forward to Black Ops 2. Really, because Treyarch before Black Ops 2, most of the community knows that Treyarch, Black Ops 1 was more improved over Modern Warfare 2. It was a little more balanced, better map design. It was a better balanced game than Modern Warfare 2. And when Treyarch did really well Black Ops 1, and they did pretty decent with World of War, we thought, hey, Treyarch did 2 great Call of Duty shooters. Why not, strike gold on the next one? Black Ops 2 is going to be great. Yeah, we don't have to worry about Treyarch. Yeah, they're gonna be doing good. We get the fucking game, and it's got fucking crap up the ass. The spawns, the gun balancing, the map design, and the developers don't care. You know, they don't care. They like to push their tournaments and push the DLC content and really shit on the consumers. You know, Black Ops 2 has put a bad, sour taste in a lot of COD gamers, including myself.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I look back at Modern Warfare 3. I thought Modern Warfare 3 was crap because of the small map design and stuff. But I look back at that game now, and I play that game now, and I have more enjoyment out of that game over Black Ops 2. Black Ops 2 is the worst Call of Duty game I've ever played, and a lot of people in the community would agree. You know, it's the worst. So,
yeah, I kind of agree with that. I know so many people on Xbox that they've jumped back to Modern Warfare 3 just because they enjoy that more than
it's more enjoyable, man. You know, it's just Black Ops 2. They tried too hard with it. and they put a lot of things in there that didn't work. Didn't work for Treyarch. It backfired on Treyarch, and I think the game was rushed.
Mm-hmm.
I think Activision was putting a lot of pressure on them. Hey, get it out in November.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think Treyarch had enough time to really make things work properly. Because if you look at the game now, it's a disaster.
Mm-hmm.
It's a disaster, and it's not totally Treyarch's fault. We can't put all the blame on Treyarch.
Right.
We got to put some blame on Activision, because Activision is the one pulling the fucking puppet strings.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because if a developer does not make a deadline, they lose their jobs.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, when they're trying to make a game and they're trying to perfect it, and they don't have enough time to perfect it, and they got a publisher pushing that game out, there you go.
Yep.
You know.
Yeah, that's earlier. I think over the weekend I saw this Modern Warfare 4 little ad. I don't know if it's still going to be Call of Duty Ghost or maybe Modern Warfare 4 Ghost. But
it's been a lot of speculations in the community.
Yeah,
now.
so I don't know if the picture I saw was legit or not. It was of course online. It was a guy, I think at a GameStop or some place, and he took a picture with his phone of this pre-ordered little piece of paper.
Ghost.
Yeah.
Was it?
Yeah. So whether it was real or not, I don't know. But
I heard they're going to reveal May 1st. So
yeah, I think that's what I remember hearing something about May 1st. I'm not too sure. I dipped out of Call of Duty a bit just for the fact that I already know what's going to come, and like the next game is going to be.
Oh yeah.
It's basically going to be Modern Warfare, and then of course you're going to add all these kill streaks. And it's just going to be the same.
It's going to be the same old song and dance, but a lot of people right now are looking at Infinity Ward. And a lot of people are saying, hey man, Infinity Ward needs to step it up. They need to hit a home run with the next COD.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and if they don't, COD's going to go downhill, man. You know, but I've also said this on a lot of other YouTube videos on COD, and I've said Infinity Ward needs to go back to the roots of COD. You know, you need to go back, and you know, even though the people that make Call of Duty, is no longer with Infinity Ward.
Right.
I know. I don't think many people know this. If they do, they should know this. That Jason West and Vincent Zampella, the creators of Call of Duty, left Infinity Ward.
Mm-hmm.
They created Respawn Entertainment, and the people that created COD 4 and Modern Warfare 2 are no longer with Infinity Ward.
Mm-hmm.
So right now, what you're left with at Infinity Ward is people that are just either trying to successfully carry on what the creators did, or trying to, you know, intimidate. You know. So Infinity Ward needs to look back at what, you know, their colleagues did with COD 4 and MW2, and they need to say, hey man, we need to go what made COD great, and we need to hit a home run and see what also Treyarch fucked up on, and see if we can actually make a solid Call of Duty that old fans will love and new fans. Because I'll tell you right now, if the next COD is more terrible or more shittier than Black Ops 2, the franchise is going to lose a lot of old COD players.
Mm-hmm. Now, for me personally, I'm a big fan of the original Modern Warfare, and if they remade that HD with some maps, I'd buy that. But that's, for me, the way to...
That one.
Yeah, I know. For me to fix this game, and it's just, once again, me, I'd say strip down on some of these kill streak stuff. And,
it's not so much the kills, just the attachments. You know, like
target. There you go. Yes.
The stacking the perks. You know, boosters. You know, guys running around with riot shields. and freaking trophy systems. The list goes on and on and on, and shotguns.
Yeah.
And you're shooting a half a clip of a submachine gun to a guy, and he wasn't done. Hitboxes, lag complication, lag, all this stuff. So the game's full of problems.
I think stacking stuff on your character, like his perks, and then of course with kill streaks, add like gun attachments. There's just so much commotion in that game.
It's just they didn't think things through, man. They just, it's like, hey, what this, and this. They need to go back to the basics in that COD. They need to go back to basics. No stacking perks. No target finders. No riot shields. No tactical insurgents.
Yeah.
And another thing, they need to, I know a lot of COD gamers are not gonna like this, but they need to bring dedicated servers. Fuck this whole host migration bullshit, okay? Dedicated servers, because host migration is not working, okay? You're in a game, you're in a tense battle, and it's migrating the host, and you get shot and die. I'm sorry, that's bullshit.
Yeah. And you attach yourself to a host that's even worse, and everyone's lagging all over the place.
This is not 2007, okay? This is 2013. And also need to up their security. Okay, this is not 2007. You've had so many years to fix your security in COD. Why haven't you fixed your security in COD? Get rid of the hackers. Do something with these hackers. Fix your game. Prevent people from cheating. Give a shit, man. Cheating's been going on since COD 4, and now we're in 2013, and they still don't give a shit about the freaking cheaters. So you know what? Like I said, man, there's so much work needs to be done with the COD franchise. It's just a disaster. It's just a disaster. And the only people that love in Black Ops 2 is the people that play cheap. People that play, oh yeah, man, drop shot and the list goes on.
Quick snipers.
People that actually play legit, who actually have skill, can't play because the people that are playing so cheap screw the experience, the enjoyment over the other, players. So, So if Call of Duty Ghost is real, or Monolith, or whatever it is, Infinity Ward needs to hit a home run.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And a lot of people need to go out to Infinity Ward and say, this is what we want from the next COD. I think the fans need to be heard for the next COD, so that's what I think about that.
Yeah, I think they need to stop being so secret with the games and kind of
start open beta.
Yeah, and ask the community what they want for the games. I mean, really kind of ask them.
COD has never had a beta. Maybe they should try it.
Yeah, I don't think they. Yeah, I don't know if they're prideful.
Apple does it. Crysis does it.
Yeah, I don't know if they don't want to be copies. Like your game's gonna sell. Like, do you think your betas will turn people off? Or is I think
betas. Beta helps you tune and fix shit before launch.
Yep. There are some companies. There's some companies that won't fix their game during betas. Let me think. What was it called? Defiance. It's a fun game. Great.
Oh yeah.
I did the beta on the PS3.
It had so much potential, and then I knew it was not going to be as really successful. It was a new concept, new idea for a video game, and
Yeah, I did the beta, and I complained about a few things, but in the back of my head, I was like, okay, it's a beta. They'll fix this before launch.
A little bit too,
the game launches, and I didn't buy it. Just just the quick little. Yeah. Let me just sit back and see the reviews. And I have my buddy here. He bought it, and he's complaining. I mean, he was stoked for that. He really wanted the game, and he's sitting here complaining about the same stuff I did during the beta. And I was like, they didn't fix that. I'm like, there was a beta for it, and pretty sure I wasn't the only one that complained about it, because I remember reading articles where people, would comment about some stuff about the game. So just listen to creative criticism from the guys that are going to be investing their time into your game.
I think we should try to wrap this podcast up on.
Ready to do that. Yeah.
Some E3
predictions.
See. Okay, do you want to go first, or should I go first on this one?
Well, I think Sony is going to come out swinging.
Mm-hmm.
I think Microsoft's going to try to counter them no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
I also think they're going to bust some pretty big names, some exclusives, but it's going to come down to next gen, though, man. It's going to come down to Microsoft and Sony. Boom, boom, boom. They're going to be battling it out, and another thing too, Nintendo's not showing at the E3. They're not showing their prep conference, and I don't know why they're not.
It's a little disappointing because I remember
it's very disappointing on Nintendo.
I actually enjoyed
having the ass, man. It's not good.
I enjoyed waking up early and have my coffee and seeing Nintendo because they always went first. They didn't care.
Yeah, exactly.
They always went first. So I sit and I watch Nintendo, and I grew up playing Nintendo.
Same here.
So
same here, man.
I wouldn't mind seeing what they got, and it does kind of suck.
Because E3 is the time you show your stuff.
Yeah.
You show your stuff in the fall, and if Nintendo's not going to be at E3 to push the Wii and push the stuff for fall, then what the hell, Nintendo?
Right.
You should just roll in the freaking white flag and surrender, okay? Because if you want to compete with Xbox, next PS4, you're going to have to bring something to the table. And that's what they're doing with the Wii. They're not bringing anything to the table. And the Wii is not even 8th gen. It seems like a 7th gen console.
Oh, yeah.
We were talking about this before we went on the podcast. That it feels like a 7th gen console.
Mm-hmm.
So, the Wii U should have been out long time ago.
Mm-hmm.
To me, it's not a true 8th gen. And, I think Wii U, Nintendo is going to stab themselves in the foot again.
Mm-hmm.
Like just with the regular Wii. And when the regular Wii came out, it was like 480p. It wasn't HD gaming. It couldn't even compete graphic wise with the Xbox 360 or PS3. So, Wii U, I don't see it around for more than 5 years. I think Nintendo's gonna probably release another console halfway through the 8th gen life cycle, just to compete with PS4 and Xbox 3, whatever you want to call it. So that's what I think about Nintendo on there. But
what do you think? I was gonna say, any more predictions you have for E3?
Like I said, just PS4 and Xbox.
Yeah, well,
they're gonna hit it hard, and they're gonna bring all the big guns out to the table.
Come on.
And I think PS4 is going to come out on top. Okay. That's all I think.
Okay. For me, E3, I think we'll see a price tag for both these machines.
Exactly. That too.
Xbox will tease.
Sorry to cut off, but we already know kind of a price. Like I've heard $400 to $500 on PS4.
I think that's safe.
And then the next Xbox $400 to $500. I also heard 2 different models for the PS4, 2 different bundles.
Right.
So. That's what I've heard, but go on, sir.
And that's all right. And then I think we'll have a Halo tease for a Halo game coming out next year. There will be a Forza game for the 720. I know there's always got to be like a racing game at launch, so this kind of brings me now to my PS4 kind of predictions here. I think Gran Turismo will be teased or announced.
Yeah, I've heard that too. Gran Turismo might be coming out for PS3 though. Gran Turismo 6. I heard it was PS3. I've heard that though.
Yeah, I've heard that too, but. Hopefully, I don't know. It might be PS3, PS4, but I think. They already announced a racing game for PS4. So yeah, Forza I think will be announced for PS3, and I think that's going to be a kind of a bon voyage to the PS3, and then they're going to be working on the PS4 Gran Turismo. Also, this Naughty Dog. I think Naughty Dog is going to bring something. I don't think too many people know, but Naughty Dog's been divided for a while now. They have a half of their studio has been working on Last of Us, and another half of the studio has been completely on closed doors and working on something else. And I read an article. Yeah, it was about a year ago. So I think Naughty Dog will be at E3 to announce something for PS4, and I hope it's not like Last of Us for PS4, but I hope it's like a game, So I think Naughty Dog's going to show up. They're going to have whatever game they have been working on behind this big closed door, and it's Naughty Dog, and they take their time making stuff and a lot of pride, and it's going to be good. And I can't wait to see what they bring.
Oh, Naughty Dog's great.
Mm-hmm. So
I love what they do.
Those are, I guess, my predictions. That's all I can think of for the moment. So,
well, to end it off, I think Sony is going to bring their exclusive titles, their third-party support to the max. They're going to bust out their PS4 hardware, and
Mm-hmm. And also, I think they'll put a little bit more light on Gaikai. Ever since they bought them, I've been looking forward to see what they're going to do with that service and how they're going to bring it to the PlayStation. And they already announced that they wanted the Vita to work with it, so you can play a PS4 game, PS3 with the Vita. So hopefully,
that's gonna bust it up too.
This is the year the Vita finally gets that respect it deserves.
Vita's underrated right now, man. It has a lot of potential. It's a great handheld. I have a couple games that are just lacking games right now, but once it gets those games, once it gets more third-party support, you know, it will take off.
Yep. And I think showing the Vita off at E3 is the time to do it. Just to kind of keep reminding developers, hey, you know, this machine's still out there. You know, you guys can make some pretty awesome stuff with it.
I heard you can play PS4 games on the Vita.
Yep. That's
which is gonna be fucking nuts.
The PS4 and the Vita are going to be best friends, man. I wish it was like that with the PS3, but at the same time, don't mind that it's for the PS4. So that's hopefully what I see some more stuff on the Vita at E3.
All right, then. I guess that's the podcast for today. What do you think, man?
Kind of long, and if someone actually listens to this whole thing,
sorry if it was long, guys. We just had a lot of shit to say today, but you know, I hope you enjoy this podcast. You know, me and Dave, my boy, we're going to try to bring another podcast weekly, maybe shorten it down a little bit more, but you know, we're just going to give you our opinions on the gaming community, give our, you know, no bullshit. We're just give you the facts and the truth. And you know what? If you enjoy this podcast, we're happy that you did. So I'm Dave, or he's Dave.
You can be Dave too, I guess.
I'm Sean, and we'll catch you next week, my friend.
Take it easy.